We'll call the Board of Works and Safety and Park Authority meeting to order. First order of business is a roll call, please.
Tom James.
Present.
Ron Terry.
Present. Next, we have our approval of the minutes of our June 24th session.
Motion approved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes of our June 24th session. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. No citizen comments today. Unfinished business we have done. New business is the XOS contract for IT services.
All right. Well, first of all, thanks for you guys coming in on a short notice, and if it wasn't needed, we wouldn't be doing this, but we find ourselves in a little bit of a predicament in regards to the IT position here at Coxholz. Gary's resigning this position effective July 10th, which is next Friday. So we're in a little bit of an emergency situation here that we need to get the ball rolling on the new IT process. Obviously, knowing me, I'm not going to wait until August 31st to start doing some things in regards to appointments and mayor things alongside of Earl as he's here and I'm about to take over. What I'm going to request is we do the IT position a little different. I'll be honest with you, I don't believe that we need an on-site IT person every day. I don't like having a position and getting rid of something within a city, but I can't sit here and answer to the citizens that I think we need somebody here every day. So for, in saying that, XOS out of Indianapolis, who is currently doing business full-time with Angola, City of New Haven, and Waterloo in our area, they're wanting to expand in Northern Indiana. I met with last Friday at a mayor's roundtable that Mayor Franklin took me to. And as I was explaining our situation and our current IT guy leaving on July 10th, the representative Jeff Rader from Texas, that I know through some mutual friends from Indianapolis, talked to me about our plan. And I said, well, we just found out this week that our guy's leaving July 10th, so it's going to leave a gap. And he says, well, I'd like to schedule a meeting and get this taken care of as soon as possible. I was thinking the week of the 13th, and he says, oh no, we need to meet on Monday. So he was here after I talked to him Friday afternoon on Monday to help us secure the knowledge and information we needed from Gary as his departure happens in regards to passwords, the equipment that we have. And that was basically not depending on they get the contract to do the work. They were just concerned enough that when an IT person leaves, there's a lot of information that can hang there that would put the city in a bad situation. So out of their kind heart, they said, we're willing to meet with your guy to get this information. So they came on Monday. Gary was very cooperative. It was appreciated. They started pulling information out of Gary that they needed and what the city's going to need going forward. In saying that, Barb also met with us on that meeting on Monday. The confidence built as this meeting went in regards to this company. And this is considered a professional service cost to the city. So we don't have to take quotes or bids or anything like that. So with the confidence that we built that day and further discussion after we met upstairs here, I met with them downstairs. Barb and I felt like we were in position that afternoon after they went around and checked all of our facilities, the IT equipment we have. We were wanting them to give us numbers in regards to what it would take, one, out of the gate for them to educate themselves and put the city in the best position IT wise, out of the gate, what that cost would be. And Barb, I believe, do they have,
Yeah, like,
you've got a
they have
copy,
a contract.
you've got a copy of the contract. So you can see out of the gate for 4 weeks every day for them to learn as much as they need to learn out of the gate and our equipment and systems. That cost is 18,000, whatever it is in your quote. Barb and I both are very comfortable with that number coming out of the gate for them to learn what they need to learn. In regards to our system, they started this morning with their IT personnel. There's a guy that started at 9 o'clock this morning with Gary before we've even approved this contract. So what I'm trying to show you is their commitment to the city in regards to our IT concerns. They specialize, Jeff Rader specializes in municipality IT work. So he understands our budget process, he understands the computer process of it, and they also involve in the communities that they work with in regards to the capital planning for IT needs. So those are all things that we need to move forward if we're gonna move forward and keep up with IT.
And just to add,
Yes.
Brian, one of the things in the monthly agreement includes some software, some licensing that we are paying separate from paying our IT position that would actually be included in the contract. So once what we have expires, that will also be, and like the cybersecurity, I mean, I don't know what kind of cybersecurity we really have in place other than we have cybersecurity insurance. We have firewall, but we don't have some of those other things that are actually included to make us be as safe as possible. So,
Are there any issues with us getting out of those other side contracts?
but that will be something hopefully that they can dive into, that it's some of the license. I think when you pay for a lot of your licensing, you pay for it for a year. So I don't know, I mean, as far as, they're not contracts, but it's just like an annual fee for that license. So we pay those for the year. I doubt there's gonna be any way to get, this kind of, like our Microsoft license, that gets supplemented anyway. But there may be some things where they can find something that we might be able to do at a different cost.
That's part of their scope. They're willing to manage what we have now, and they're willing to say, we provide what you're paying for currently. We'll help you get out of those situations. Therefore, we're not gonna have that cost in.
They'll be reviewing everything.
They'll be reviewing everything in regards to IT. And to be honest with you, some of the numbers that I heard, I believe that the reduction that we can make, having a firm do it versus an individual, I believe we're gonna come real close to this being a wash when we're all done with this. Plus, we've got somebody we can hold accountable, right, this firm, and they know on a daily basis what's happening, what we want to plan for, okay? One thing I didn't get to is their monthly costs, right? Which Barb started to talk about. After this 18,000 initially, their monthly cost is 12,000, whatever it is, $474 a month. We're currently paying that position within the city with wage and benefits, about $9,000. So it's a $3,000 increase, but I honestly believe we're gonna save that, one, in reduction of equipment, reduction in licensing and fees that we're paying, that they will pay, we won't have to pay, okay? So it's more money. But you say, well, it's more money. I think we're gonna be able to balance that difference. Once they get in here, the first month, right? This is my goal for them, is they come in that first month, we pay them that fee of $18,000. They get a feel of what we got. Then they start the contract monthly, which in there says they'll have a person here, physically here, 2 days a week. Other days they can come in remotely and do whatever they need to do. If there's an issue that John's having They have a ticket process that we create a work order basically to say, hey, I've got a computer that's not acting right, the Parks Division. That does many things. It identifies the problem. It documents that we send them the issue. It also documents when they're going to react and take care of it. So they're doing this for other communities. I think this is going to be a great fit. And I would ask you today to, and one other thing before I close, is someone might say, wow, this is $12,000 a month and we were paying $9,000. Once again, I think we're going to recoup that. But the other neat thing is how Barb breaks this out, because our utilities are a huge use of IT. Our wastewater and water are huge in IT. SCADA systems, their computer, all their controls are computerized. So we're going to break this out 3 ways. Basically $4,000 a piece, one from the general, $4,000 from wastewater, and $4,000 from water. If you break it down that way and look at it, I think it even looks like a better deal, and I think it's a better deal. So I guess what I am requesting is, one, we do away with the department head function and go to a firm to handle our IT process. I think by the end of the year, once they get into the monthly process, by the end of 26, we're going to know what we can reduce equipment wise, and they'll have a really good feel. And Barb and I's hope is once that happens, we might be able to reduce to a physical person being here 1 day a week, which will also save money within that contract. So we are going to do our due diligence. I think we can reduce a lot. I think we can save a lot of what we spend IT wise. I have no doubt in their service, their knowledge, because of the people they're working for currently, and the commitment that they have made for us to come here for 2 days and not get paid to figure out for the city what we're going to do. I think that says a lot for that company.
One of the other things we didn't take into account, and it just so happens that we didn't plan to replace the vehicle right now, but
Yes.
the vehicle Gary was driving was total. We will get insurance money back from that, but one of the things that's not accounted for in what we benefits for him is the gas that we're putting in the vehicle for him to drive either. I didn't even think to try to figure out what kind of a savings that would be on gas that would also add to the $9,000 that we're paying.
Correct. Yeah. I wouldn't even recommend this, guys, if I didn't think it was the best thing for the city. I feel this is the best thing. A lot of cities and towns have gone to firms because they recognize, especially our size, that they just don't necessarily have what they need for a person to be here every day, and that be their sole thing. And then I'm ready for the question of, well, Gary wasn't just the IT guy, he was the facility manager. Well, I'm going to ask my department heads to be their facility manager. If something needs done, they're the ones that know what needs to be done and who to call to fix that issue. So I'm very confident. I really hope you hear me. And Barb, today in regards to this, I think this will be a much better setup for the department heads, the employees, and I'm going to say this out loud again. I think this is the best case scenario for the people that are paying for this, the citizens of our city. I think this is the best option we have. Thank you.
One of the other things I liked is the security that they'll implement in the computers, because right now, like, you don't have any dual factor authentication to do anything. And so, you know, I can go sign on a computer in there because I know what their passwords are, or somebody else can. But they'll have that. And then if you need your password reset, there'll be means to do that. No one person, because right now, Gary's head's full of all passwords and everything. He has a memory for all that. So if somebody doesn't remember their password, he just tells them what it is. You know, and that's not good safety. Nobody should. We should only have the ability to log into our computers and do some of those things too. So just a lot of security issues across the whole thing. But
I put my 2 cents in. I didn't review the contract. I think the most important thing to me and what I was looking for is, well, this all sounds good, but what if they aren't as responsive?
Correct.
Pay them all that money. But there's essentially a 30-day notice requirement, so we aren't signing up with them for 5 years or anything like that. So if they don't come through with what they promised, or you know, we're sort of in an emergency because of the person leaving, and so I think it's important to get somebody in. And if these people don't work out, or we find, hey, there's some other company that's doing the same thing for half the money and want to switch at some point, it's just 30 days notice. And also the reality is if you had to hire somebody, with market is you might not be able to get somebody for the same amount of money. So there's no guarantee that it's really a 9,000 to 12,000 swing, because if you tried to hire somebody else, would you find anybody? How long would that take? And maybe they wouldn't work for less than 10 or 11. And so, and I think with the firm, if whatever the actual person leaves, they've got the backup in place, and they have the knowledge that essentially nobody else does. So, you know, if your person got hit by a bus, you know, if he didn't give notice or he died,
That's right.
nobody,
that's the same
yeah.
logic they use.
So I think you go with the
It's kind
company.
of grim, but that's the knowledge they use, yeah.
You go with the company, and even if it does cost a little more, you're never gonna be in a panic if something happens to that guy who comes here. There's another guy that will come and they'll know how to get into the
Right.
system.
And thanks for bringing that up, because I did leave a big portion out that I think I need to talk about. I didn't just jump to this conclusion, right? I interviewed some local people that are in the IT world, and wanted to know if they were interested. And you see what we pay. Just for example, the one guy I interviewed, he was making $98,000. We can't, you know, as an individual, I wouldn't feel good enough paying that to the citizens, knowing that somebody doesn't have to be here every day. It's once we get it figured out. So I did interview local people. The problem you even have with people coming out of college is they may take it for a year. They've got that degree. They're gone to Kraft or Amazon or whoever it may be the next year. It's important to have consistency in that position. And I think the best consistency is having a firm that can do all this for us. Questions, I guess I should ask.
My only question, and Laura brought it up, was the getting out of it.
30 day.
And I think
30 days.
that to me is a tremendous deal. I mean, because
Yeah.
if something doesn't work,
Yeah.
and I will say through, I'm on the county council, the IT situation over there, the wages are, she's spot on there. We would be hard pressed to find somebody
Yes.
for where we're at now. We really, I think.
Yes.
Especially a true IT professional.
Right.
Russ, I mean, Gary does a good job of what he does, but he's learned it up through just
Sure.
working on things, but he's not really IT
Right.
professionally trained.
Right.
I mean, he has served our needs and
Right.
all that, and I would not ever say that he didn't do what he was supposed to, but there are things that, especially today with AI and all the things that can
Right.
be, you know, these things are coming on so fast, faster than what people can
Yeah.
take care of. All the you know, the spam, the phishing, all the things that you get. I mean, I don't know how many phone calls and emails and stuff you all get, but you know, it's just out there, and people trying to just rob you blind from all the stuff.
Earl, you were in that afternoon meeting. Would you like to add anything?
Actually, Laura said on what I was going to make a comment that I thought was very important, the 30-day outlet here, that if something does change,
Yes.
we can get out of the contract and that kind of thing when we have 30 days. That brought up, I thought that wording was very important in there.
Yes.
And I read that through, so.
But I'll I'll tell you, my main concern is, like Laura said, getting out of the gate here. We gotta make sure that we have what we need, and, they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. And I will treat this like any contract going forward. That just because you get the initial one, we're gonna hold you responsible that we're getting the best service for the price we're paying. That in a year that I will say, hey, let's look at this IT thing again and compare what we're getting. And if we're happy, fine. If not, who else is doing this and what are you charging? I think that's gotta be across the board. I don't care if that's IT, garbage contract, whatever it might be. I think that's something that you have to do. So,
I think with that 30-day hour, I don't see how they.
Well, in Angola and New Haven, they actually have, they're a little bit larger than there, but they have a person on site 5 days. And they've had, I know Angola, I think they said they've been there over 5 years.
Yeah.
In this, they're, the company's been in business for a decent amount of time.
yeah.
I've heard of them before in the, like, I know for my listserv, they're one of the people that have said that they use. A lot of people don't have IT services on site. And some of them may not have a contract to have someone even 2 days, but they have people like this who just do an as needed basis. But I think because of the collaboration and all that they would do and just, digging in and making sure everything that we have is what we need. It's some things that we don't need. With cloud storage, we might be able to eliminate servers and not have to replace servers or update some of the equipment that we've had to in the past because of cloud service being available. Which some people think cloud service and say, cloud service is really more secure than having your stuff on your server. Right now, if this building were to burn down and all the servers be done, things that we have on there will be gone. That's part of the reason that when I had asked to move our accounting to the BSNA cloud, that was part of that. You can do that. You have that in the cloud. It's safe. You don't have to worry about it just for your accounting stuff.
Yeah, I was very impressed with that meeting we had with, they brought up things we have no clue, never even thought about it.
That's right.
Bart mentioned that the savings on contracts or agreements with servers and all
Right.
this stuff. We had no clue about that. They brought up questions and never heard of that, so
Right.
they're on top of situations.
Basically, what I'm saying to you folks is with Gary leaving, I don't know it. We don't want to know it. These people know it. This is their profession. Why wouldn't we depend on somebody like that provides a service?
With the budget dollars we'll have left from salary, and we still have about half of the budget for the other equipment and upgrades and stuff left, so I think we'd be comfortable with that. Plus the fact that, we are gonna be getting $19,000 for the car.
To me, that pays us out of the gate, right?
Pays the-
That gets us to where that we need to be, that they can really get a feel for us. Plus less costs, not having a vehicle,
Yeah, not having maintenance.
maintenance and gas and, all that.
Thought it was very important, 30 days, and budgeting, we could go to the end of the year at least,
Yes.
see how these folks operate, see how our budget's going to be affected. If possibly somebody comes along and is capable of doing the job and fits our budget, we released our contracts.
And they were forward with that. They said to us in the meeting, let's do it, once we get through the 4 weeks, let's do a contract for the remainder of the year. That way, they said, we can see as a company that this is gonna be good for us and we're providing you the service we think we should. And you guys can evaluate us for the remainder of the year and, we'll go from there.
But then the contract, they didn't even put that because
Yeah.
if we don't like it after the first
Correct.
initial, we can give.
Yeah, you get out,
We don't have to.
you get out in 30 days, but I'm very confident,
I was very impressed with it.
Yeah.
And the guy that will be here for at least the first 3 weeks, he's one of their top tier people. I mean, they're working they call it the onboarding process with the people to get the person that will be here regularly. This guy is like one of their top level people, and he'll be actually going through and doing the initial.
So in less than a week, we're here today to approve a contract. He showed up at 9 o'clock this morning to start working. Monday, they spent hours here with Barb and I and Gary
Right,
and
at least 3 hours with Gary.
Mayor Franklin later that afternoon. I appreciate their commitment, willingness to say, hey, we gotta get on this. So I think that speaks volumes. And I would ask you to approve, going forward with the intent to this be our new IT process.
Any other discussion?
Looks like a necessary change, to go to a, not being, this exclusively.
Yeah, they speak a completely different language than we do.
For sure. It changes all the time.
And like I say, during our meeting, they brought up things we hadn't even thought of. Sure. So I was impressed also with it. Entertain a motion to approve it.
Motion to approve, contract for Exos, to, come in, take over IT functions.
Second.
Could you add to give me the authority to sign electronically?
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that.
Also that, to the authority to sign electronically, Barb.
Thank you.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Exos contract as our IT person. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. I have another item that didn't come up on the agenda today, but we need to talk about it. Talk about Chris Funk's position at the wastewater, and they needed paperwork to get him into the next section.
Yeah, it kind of came up, last week Ben talked to me about it, and I didn't realize that they were working on a deadline, and I don't think Ben knew either, because he had intended to bring this to the board next Wednesday, but because Andrew has essentially, he's still in the apprenticeship program, but he is licensed, that opens up, Kendra to actually be a mentor for another employee. So Ben talked to Kelly at the Alliance about entering Chris Funk into that same program. It's like that 4-year or 2-year program, 4-semester program to put Chris into that. So what it does, it gives them a schedule of when they have to take classes and the speed at which it helps get licensing faster for those employees. So they do have a wage scale that you need to approve going forward with the apprentice, putting him in the apprenticeship. But it's not really any different than what our scales would be. It's just with the licensing, it just is maybe a little faster pace. It does it based on the hours and their on-the-job training and the classes that they take in passing those classes in an assessment. So if you would like to approve that, we can get that paperwork to her. She said, when I talked to her, we could wait till the 8th, but I said we were having a meeting today, and if you would consider it, that I would ask.
I move we approve Chris getting into the program.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we allow Chris Funk to enter into the apprentice program. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. comments today, Brian? Anything else?
Other than thank you.
Mike? John?
John Parrish, Park Director. Just want to update you. I totally forgot last week. I got busy. Forgot board works. What I was going to tell you then was I'm always on the hunt to raise money for our play sets. And so far, we've done 2. It hasn't cost the city anything. And we now have acquired the money to do a 3rd that won't cost the city anything. So Prentice Park, throw some time and effort and money toward that little park. We're going to have a 28 by 40 pad. It's a mid-sized play set, a little larger than what's there now, obviously all new. It was about a $55,000 purchase. And since I buy from this company, I received a $16,000 purchase grant from the company, so less $16,000. That left us with about $40,000 to raise. And a very generous foundation. I wrote a letter, let them know my plans. They funded half of that. A local family funded the other half. So we're going to do something a little different. I usually purchase a play set in the fall and tear out the old in the fall. We store and install in the spring, but I've done this early enough. We're going to tear out this fall with Mike's help with the equipment. And we're going to install in the fall also. So we'll have it all done this fall. So good news.
Thank you, John. Any comments?
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else?
I just thank you again for approving the IT contract. I think it'll be very valuable and important for the city.
Laura? And, it was a very, very good meeting with these, people, with the IT. I'm glad we could meet up with them at the mayor's roundtable. Just, it really worked out. It's unbelievable how nice that all worked out and everything. Yesterday we had a meeting with, officials from other towns in the county, concerning the multi-unit task force that we need to establish to address our concerns with legislatures in the state as a collective group to have them massage this tax distribution the way they've got it set up. So very good meeting, and we're one of the first counties that around to get this task force engaged. I think there was only one county in the state that had anything really going, and so to get Noble County right up there and be a leader in getting things started. Appreciate Barb and Brian in on these meetings and getting this initially started here. Really happy with the cooperation we got from the county, which we fully expected anyway. Got along well with the county officials and everything else, and all of our neighboring towns and everything they're concerned. So we have further meetings to set up and get the actual group together formally, and so we're heading in that direction. Everything's going the way we should. And once again, in the third week here in July, I'll be down in Greensburg with all the mayors, and we can make our voice known also. So we're off to a good start, and already I think some of the legislatures possibly postponing some of this stuff even off to 2030, maybe even 2031. So we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. With that, been moved and seconded that we adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay.